Hey, what's up, guys? We're back again. We're gonna I had to set up the course, set up our target down at 100 yards. We're gonna test these North Fork 350 grain cup nose solids next. We're just looking for an accuracy at 100 yards. We had pretty good point of aim, point of impact to match our 405 grain load North Fork soft point, and we're trying to just kind of mimic some loads here that have the same point of aim roughly. You can't always have it both ways, but we're just testing different stuff here to see what we can come up with. The powder we're using is 30-31. In our last test we used the Lehigh 380 grain solids. These are all in 45-70. I was able to find one where they were impacted in the ground. I was able to dig it up. These things are pretty, I don't know if I can get that to come in or not. If you guys can see that. I mean, it took, it took a beating, but we'll have to bring it back to the shop and weigh it up, see what it lost for weight. I mean, these are just impacting into the ground, so there's mud, roots, rocks, you name it, it's in there. So, but it is cool to find them, just to see. We did find some North Fork soft points that expanded pretty nice. I think when they hit the rocks, it kind of messes them up, but if they do hit just dirt, it is cool to find them, measure them, see what, how they're impacting. So yeah, we're gonna take these 350s out to 100 yards, and we'll record velocities while we're here. We kind of like to, especially with a newer load, we kind of like to take as much data down as we can. So these were running 1850, 1900 feet per second, when we took them. So it's a little windy today. Not a big deal, I don't think, for 100 yards for us. We're just going to get some accuracy and see how we go. One's 1890, so we're pretty close to that 1900 feet per second we had originally. I'll just write these down here. Look through the scope, kind of just see roughly where we're hitting with these at 100, because we haven't taken them out that far. Let's zoom this in here. So, yeah, we're still hitting pretty high. Of course, these are about 2.5 inches high at 50. We'll have to measure that when we go down there. They're still shooting high, which is fine, because these are supposed to match our other North Fork bullets, which our 405 grain was shooting higher than our cast load. They were going much faster, so that's to be expected. So we'll try to see if we can get a group here. 1883. This load here actually being a max load that we worked up for our gun. The load data that we had used did go harder, but we found that this load here was our, as far as case expansion and primers, status there. That we determined that was going to be our safe load. We don't really I don't like to go super hot. My shoulder doesn't need to take it, and we do use this limb saver when we're doing load development. 20-30 rounds of some. If it wears your shoulder out, I'm not going to be as accurate. So it is nice to use for that part, but hunting purposes, it's too long of a length to pull. Sticks on your clothing, so we like to take that off when we're hunting. All right, take this next shot. $18.82. Let's see where these are. Let's kind of see where those two. Let's see where those two went. Yeah, so they are grouping together. Which is a good sign. Let's see. I don't know if I can. They're not touching, but they're probably about 2 inches off from each other. So our velocities are pretty consistent. We got 2 more shots. We did 5 of these, so 1879. Yeah, those cases look good. Take a quick peek here, see where that went. As long as these aren't flying all over the place, then we know we're yeah, that one's right next to the other one, so that's good. So we know that's a good load. Well, we'll know after these next 2 shots. $18.90. Yeah, those are staying nice and consistent. One shot left here. Having this spotting scope, it is nice for even at 50 yards. You can see the holes. These 45s, these are big enough hole. If you can see it, that's touching another one, so that's pretty good. Beats walking back and forth 100 times, especially if you're on a range somewhere. If you don't have your own area to shoot, your own range, which is how we started. You know, when I was younger, I'd have to wait and try to go on a Monday morning if I could. Everybody else was at work. I'd have to try to work all weekend so I could take a Monday morning off. That way you could walk up and down, and that's a pain in the butt. Try to go on a weekend to a range, especially these days, they're just packed. So, you know, luckily we moved to a location. This is kind of our one of our number one things we wanted to focus on. So, have a spot where we could set up a shooting range. And actually, that was our 5th shot. So let's grab the chronograph and kind of get some of these numbers put together. Make sure we're clear. Yeah, it is nice. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I got them all written down, so we'll go right here. 1890 was our high. 1879 was our low. This does the math for us, so our average was 1884. Extreme spread 11. That's not too bad. Standard deviation 4. So as far as that load goes, that's a pretty good load we got there. You know, that's not bad. I'll shut this off. And yeah, so like I said, those are 350 grain cut nose solid North Forks. They're not cheap. We kind of just been picking around with some new stuff coming out of the caveman ways, that is our favorite way. Using those cast bullets, wheel weights, linotype, whatever we can find. We've actually only used those cast bullets for hunting. You know, I've taken a number of black bears over the years. They never go anywhere. You know, that 405 grain, one shot, make a good shot placement on them. You know, and you get the penetration if you make them hard enough. We do have some here. These are our newest ones. These are just 405 grain cast. They're about these are about 18 BHN. These are powder coated ones. If you can see that, the light in here of course sucks, but you know, it almost looks like a lipstick tube. But those bullets, we did take a 1,200 pound bison, and I mean, one shot, about 75 yards, one shot. I mean, that thing, he didn't go very far. I mean, he walked 3-4 steps, took his last breath, all that. He just, you know, it tipped right over. And these bears, we did get a bear last year. We Texas heart shot that bear. He must have winded us. He didn't give us the shot we wanted. We thought he would come back out kind of quarter away, or you know, broadside us, and he didn't. He came out of the bushes out from under us, and he stopped. They had just a small opening. He stopped, looked back right where we were. He knew something was up, and just Texas heart shot him, dropped him right there. Don't really like to do that shot, but it was an open shot, and we know we get the penetration on those cast bullets. But you know, we figured we'd try these Lehighs. We didn't get much velocity out of those in that last video. 6 grains worth of difference. Low charge, high charge. I mean, they look to hold up pretty good as far as going through the gravel. Those North Forks, the 405s, they're holding like 98% of their weight, going through dirt, rocks, mud. Not very consistent matter. You know, we could do some tests later on some water jugs and whatnot, try to get a better idea of penetration. But yeah, we only had about 1,500 feet per second, just under 16 with those, so that's still pretty light for a 380 grain. These 350s, You know, they're just under 1,900 feet per second, so not a bad load. So we'll take that back. We'll load some up, and you know, we'll see you on the next one.